We all have certain sports or activities we enjoy participating in or watching, and then there are some things that we just have never cared for. It's not our cup of tea. We'd rather not do, and that's a normal thing. But I've noticed a trend where a lot of people online are really critical of certain sports or certain athletes and kind of bashing the things that they don't enjoy doing. So I'd like to make this video just a time to share some love with some of the things that I personally don't relate to, but that I have respect for the athletes and their hard work and the things they do with that. I love basketball, football, obstacle course racing, CrossFit games, mixed martial arts, track and field. Those sort of things, I can watch them on TV or on YouTube for hours and not get tired. I just find that so fascinating. And then there are certain sports that I really don't relate to. I've never been snowboarding or skiing in my life, so when I see something with skiing, it's just hard to get my interest. I've never been golfing in my life, and so and I know golfing is like the kind of the rich man's sport. It's the business sport you do with your business associates out on the golf course. But it would be more exciting for me if they had like maybe every so often an American Gladiator come running out of the brush and chase you from green to green and hole to hole, that sort of thing. But I just wish they could make it a little bit more exciting. But again, not bashing on golf. I haven't tried it, so I'm not in a position to say too much about it. I used to love baseball when it was Little League, smelling the cut grass, playing out there. It's just like a beautiful feeling. But as I got older and they started pitching the ball and hitting the ball a lot faster, things changed. Also, I don't enjoy watching the sport because it takes 2 hours to see, between two teams sometimes score 2 or 3 points over the whole time. So just not enough return on investment for action on some of those games for me. Then there are some more extreme sports, things like kayaking. I'm not a big fan of the water. And then you make things even worse by incapacitating your legs in this kayak, and I've seen just scary footage of people going over little waterfalls and landing in whirlpools upside down in that, not being able to get out and stuff. So things like that scare me. Rock climbing, scared of heights. I've got respect for the people that do those type of crazy things, but it's not my deal. Ultramarathoners, bless their hearts. I don't know how they do it, but it's cool. It's inspiring to see that, but I don't relate to it at all. Soccer, I love watching some good soccer highlights and soccer goals and crazy moves. But again, kind of like baseball, you got to watch a couple hours of activity to get in those 2 or 3 minutes of excitement. So not a big fan there when it comes to watching that sport. But instead of bashing on these, I'm not trying to bash on any of these sports or activities. I know some people love it, they live for it, it's their life, it just brings a lot of happiness to them. So I just want to take a minute and talk about 4 sports that I really don't relate to, that I don't plan on ever doing. But again, I've got respect for some of these athletes. Okay, so this first one I want to talk about is triathlons. These athletes I think are kind of crazy, these endurance athletes, what they're able to do. I've done a triathlon sprint before, a little mini one where you swim for 10 minutes and then get on a bike for maybe 40 minutes and then run a 5K, just a little baby version of that. It was pretty fun, but I can't imagine doing the volume of work that they do in a regular triathlon. So with these highlights you can see here at Kona, when they fire the cannon and they all start swimming, you already know I'm scared of water, but just imagine the freak out factors. You've got people thrashing limbs all around you going, and it's just like, how do you not get hit in the head and go unconscious doing that? So anyway, the water's hard enough. The biking portion, I haven't ridden the bike seriously since I was like a teenager. It's been so long since I've been a biker, so I'm not good at swimming or biking. And then I get to the running, and I'm not very good at running either. But the biggest problem I have with triathlon is these dang clothes they wear between the transition from the cycling to the run that zips open and they're holding these sponges. Is there not an uglier looking sport uniform or a grosser look in all the sports? Anyway, respect for these guys. They're insane athletes, amazing. Not a fan of the look here on the triathlon, but again, they have my respect. It's so inspiring what they're able to do. Okay, another sport that I do not relate to and never will plan on doing is rodeo. These guys are some tough men and women that are involved in this sport. They get paid very little. They often perform while they're injured. It's just amazing what they do for the money. And then also the rodeo clowns, the guys that protect them, hats off to them, and they're lifesavers. But it's a crazy sport. I'm not a big fan of the whole animal cruelty issue with it. I think it's a lot of unnecessary, but again, I can respect their hard work, their efforts, their bravery. I kind of like some aspects of the culture behind rodeo, But I can think of some good ways to avoid some of these problems in the beginning. Is just not even get on that Brahma bull to start with. So again, something I have a hard time relating to, but man, these people are pretty brave. Okay, I love football and contact sports, but something I've never really understood that well is rugby. There's quite a few rule variations between these two sports. So these rugby players are just a different breed. It's amazing. I can only imagine the type of injuries they must be getting here with playing with no pads. The only padding they have is sometimes like a headband or some ear covers or things like that. But this is just a totally different sport I have a hard time relating to, but again, my respect to it. Insane athletes, super strong, super difficult. Okay, and then on to the fourth one I don't really relate to is basically anything that they do at the X Games. All these extreme sports. I've always joked before, like skateboarding and BMX, stuff like that, that hacky sack is the gateway drug to get into that sort of culture. I'm not a huge fan of the culture of, loitering sports where you're hanging out on a skateboard stuff, but man, when you look at the stuff these guys do, it's insane. The stuff they're able to pull off with years of practice and the bravery it takes. So again, I got total respect for these crazy people, especially those BMX guys when they jump off the bike and do acrobatic moves and can get on again. Something I would never consider doing in a million years, but I love watching this kind of stuff. It's just so amazing. So anything that you see at the X Games, you might see me watching it as a spectator, but no way I'm going to be participating in any of this crazy stuff. These guys are insane. I also think these guys are really underrated for the strength and the athleticism they have to pull this off. So these are just example of a couple sports that I don't really relate to, that I don't plan on doing. But again, I've got great respect for the people that do those sort of things, for their hard work, for their athleticism, for their skill. It's amazing and it's inspiring. So I just encourage you to, when you hear someone talking about a sport they love, some type of activity, let's not be so quick to bash it and say, oh, yours sucks, I like this is better. It's just this kind of this juvenile mentality that so many people have online. So I just like to say, if you are involved in any sort of sport or physical activity, whether it's hiking or lacrosse or Tai Chi or yoga or whatever it is, you have my respect. Even if it's something I don't relate to, it's not my cup of tea, I don't want to do it. I have respect for anyone that is involved, that is physically active, doing something they love doing. My hat's off to you. Anyway, I want to encourage you to stay active, find something you love, whether it's as a spectator or a participant. That can do your body good, it does your mind good. It's great when you have some of these hobbies and activities that keep life exciting for you. Feel free to share in the comments if there's any sport or activity I missed, something that you do enjoy doing or something you just totally can't relate to. It's fun to see the wide variety of activities and how people can relate to some but not others. Stay tuned because I'm going to keep releasing a couple videos a week on health and fitness and how to live a healthier life.